Okay, again, I'd like to welcome all of you out to our insights and update pool funding training today. Um, we're celebrating the first day of the month over here while you guys are ending the last day of the month over there in the West. So it's the holiday season is here. So happy holidays to all of you. Let the holidays roll. Um, what I want to do today is kind of dedicate this message to the idea that united we stand and divided we fall, and that we as the people have an opportunity to gather, organize, and at some point mobilize in an effective way to create the world that we want for everyone. A beautiful world where we recognize individual freedom, sovereignty, and basically a world where each of us are understanding that do no harm is really the call for every individual, right? As each individual, we should live our lives according to that, being the key principle to having a great world that we can share. All right, so um, before we kind of get into the big announcement I want to share with you guys today, I'd like to go ahead and get a report from one of our leaders that's been helping us with Leads Done For You, Steve Thompson. How's AI doing, and how are we doing on you're helping some of the ones that fall in the cracks that don't quite get all the way through the automated version of onboarding, and you're reaching out to them, and tell us how that's going, Steve.
It's going great. We got like 20 leads in today, and I called them all and got a hold of, maybe half a dozen of them, and they're actually calling back. I left messages and had them text me or call me back, and they've done that. And one lady sent from Chicago, she's got herself and four others coming with her.
All right. Wow. How
That's
about
great.
that?
Yeah,
Well, she
yeah.
probably caught the message in that first video when where what they're doing is they're watching a 5 minute video that tells them about the scalability of pool funding with just four referrals, right? So four
That's
is kind of
exact. She wants me to send her an individual copy of that.
easy. Just grab the address off of YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. And I did. So
Fantastic,
it's
Steve.
going great.
Well, we appreciate all
So
the leaders that are participating with you.
yeah,
Steve is just, we'll just have him be a spokesperson today, but there's a number of leaders that have stepped up to help Leads Done For You. We'll get those orders filled, and then we'll continue to use the technology to be more efficient and reach more people quickly and get the job done. So thanks again for that report, Steve. Really appreciate you and all the
no
leaders that
problem.
have stepped up. Thank you to all the leaders. Most of you are here on the call today. We really do appreciate that. Okay. So, again, united we stand, divided we fall. So let me kind of put things in perspective for you here. Okay. When I put together pool funding at the very start, my intent was to help you. You. Okay. And that is why I built it so that 100% of what's being paid go to the person that built it. Okay. So you get 100% of whatever you build, right? And not only that, that you didn't have to wait for you to collect on that. It immediately went from the person sending the payment directly into your wallet, in your power, in your control, instantly, without any kind of third party or anything like that, in the middle of that. So all those USDT payments that are circulating within our pool funding system, that's all, benefiting those of you that have been out there building and building a team and bringing people aboard. But what I didn't know when I rolled out pool funding was how much the world had changed, especially in the West, where um, isolation became kind of a normal thing, and people have kind of hunkered down into their own little small life, and and that they didn't feel um, as comfortable bringing people on board with some idea or something. And there's been a real challenge for so many of you just to get two, because you have to have two to get into positive cash flow with pool funding. It takes two. It takes two to get qualified. It takes two, but it only takes two. And so when I started, pool funding, we had a good start. I was, obviously the biggest influencer as we pushed along, but eventually the thing gets bigger than what one person can actually, there's only one of me, right? So my influence is going to go so far, right? But I was really counting on the thing growing exponentially, 2 by 2. You get 2, 4, 8, 16. I mean, the numbers are exponential. But if there's a challenge for, let's just say, the majority of people joining, getting two people, that was an eye opener. And so I've been doing over the last several months, I have been really trying to, crack down and figure out how I can help you get two plus, right, whatever on top of that, so that that's a non-issue. Okay. And so several things have happened. But instead of spending time talking on that, I have something I want to announce because we're going to be moving forward here. But here's the other side of the challenge that many of you may not be aware of. Okay, because maybe you're not thinking about it. I know that you all appreciate getting 100%. Do you guys appreciate getting 100%? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
You
Yes, sir.
appreciate you appreciate it comes directly into your power and control into your wallet, not some website that you have to then later, go through some action to make withdrawal. You appreciate that?
Yeah, love it.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't see why pool funding doesn't just take off like a wildfire, but it's the hesitation, and I think it's more born on the idea of like, yeah, maybe I could get two, but I'm wondering if they could get two. And that's the question that's kind of been holding up our community and the growth that we've been having in the community is people wonder, can my people get two? Because they're kind of counting on that they'll get two and then those will each get two and then everybody can be in positive cash flow, because as my wife puts it, it's like a domino effect. If at the bottom, whatever structure you have, if they don't have any strength to keep going, then they fall off, and then the next person falls off, right? And so you can actually have these little teams that can be built, and then they can fall apart. And so we have to address it, right? We have to have a solution that's going to make it work. Okay. You see, if I was just only focused on aggrandizing myself and making myself larger and only caring about myself, I could take a piece of technology and I could just roll it out like anybody else, and I could go out there and just fill my pockets and put all my attention on just myself. But to me, that doesn't change the world. In the world to me is in a mess, and unless we empower you, I'm not going to be, what's the good of being, a really rich dude in a world that's completely in shambles, right? What's the fun of that? You see my point? So there has to be a way to empower the individual, right? But we need each other for that to happen. Okay. So what you may not be aware of is that, how do things get paid for? As this thing gets bigger and bigger, the operational costs are going to grow with it, right? When I started, I didn't have an executive assistant, right? And now I do. And how many of you have been working with her? So she's getting a paycheck. It's coming out of me, right? But that's just one example. But if we want to get into a much bigger operation, the operational costs are going to get larger. So my thinking was we got the coins, but we're at the point where there has to be enough strength in the coins that we have in order for me to make enough withdrawals to do the operation. So I kind of feel like I want to get a lot done, but I'm working with a little hammer, So like if I want my programmer to do something, I want to be able to say, hey, I'm paying you to do it. Here you go, right? But the problem is if I'm working with a thin budget, then there's only so much I can pay. And technically, my programmer has been paid way better from, coin sales than I have, right? So any coin sales, there's just been a small sliver. And that's because where I'm located, I don't have large personal expenses. Okay. I imagine almost everybody here listening to me right now probably has at least twice as much personal expense than what I have, when it comes to just taking care of myself. So I needed to come up with some kind of thing, something that's going to work so that we can have a strong enough, central um, um, center of to be able to move quickly and evolve and develop things rapidly. But we don't have the funding for that with the way things are currently structured right now. So I've come up with a plan that I think you're going to love it, and where it involves each of you getting your own personal, exclusive AI agent that can be your tool to do whatever you need to do. And really only your imagination is the limit of what's possible with having your own AI agent. Because it ain't just about, oh, I'm gonna have an AI agent for lead generation. That's missing the point of how powerful this tool is. You know, what if there was a death in the family and you got to notify everyone? I mean, have you ever been in that situation? You're already in grief yourself, you know, and it's already hard enough to get on phone calls. But what if you had an AI agent that could reach out and just notify everyone and say, hey, just want to let you know there's been a death in the family. I've got John's calendar here. If you want to get on his calendar to have a call with him, we can schedule that. You can grieve together, whatever. Imagine that, right? Or a birthday party, or 1,000 other things. You're hungry, and you don't want to take 10 minutes of your time to actually sit there and order the food yourself. So you just talk to your AI agent and say, we want this, and this, and then it contacts, I don't know, Uber Eats or something for you, and gets it sent over to you. And you only spent 60 seconds on the task that you maybe would have spent 10 or 15 minutes, depending on how smart the other person is on the other end of the line that's taking the phone call. Okay. Uh, so having the ability where you have technology that can make phone calls for you, send out emails for you, can compose emails, compose text messages, send text messages, right? You just give it some simple direction, and then it can go do things for you. That power is available. It's some people are using it, but most people aren't, because it's so new. And, just to give you an idea of what we're talking about when it comes to the cost of such a thing, if you wanted to get your own agent, I'll show you a couple of places you go get an agent today, right now. Let me see here. Let's say you went here. Okay. So this is a place called Callfluent, and they have fantastic agent, can do all kinds of things. But if you want to get their a complete agent that does everything, then normally you'd pay $997 a month for that per month. And if you wanted to do everything, they got a great discount going for you right now. It's only $397 a month. Okay, how about that? Or I mean, what I'm finding is a lot of these things are in the same kind of thing here. How about this one? $297 a month. Okay. Yeah. And you could use it to do, phone calls for you, inbound, outbound phone calls. And it's like having a digital employee of sorts, $297 a month. And, that's kind of the price point I'm seeing out there. I mean, even the video thing that I have, I'm on the $99 a month version of it. And it does two things. It helps me make videos, and it helps me make pictures. And so but they have a bigger, better version, and whatever, and that's also about like $300 a month. So I know for many of you are going, yeah, that's like, I don't have $300 a month. That's probably what you're thinking right now. Okay. Well, I got good news for you. You're not going to need $300 a month per se. Okay. But like I said, I want this to be an exclusive product, and I want it to benefit the whole community. And I want everyone to have power as they have their own custom agent. Imagine an agent, you give it its own name, you can give it its own image as to how you want it to present itself to the world. And you can select through a number of voices, find one that's soothing or good for you, that you like listening to. And that's what I mean by customization. And then from there, it's just an unlimited possibilities of what this thing could be. You could actually have it do for you. Okay. And the AI space is evolving so fast that updates are not like every 3 months, 6 months. Hey, here's the new thing. No, these new things are rolling out practically every week. Oh, now it can do this, and now it can do that, and it's just and that's a very fast evolving space. So we need to be able to keep up with that, because we don't want to put something out there and then immediately it's just like old school right off the bat, right? Right. We want something that will evolve and grow and get better. So here's the deal. I've come up with a package idea like this. It works like this. You can join pool funding, and of course you need to stay active, making your daily payment every day. You right now two starter pools. You got the $1 pool, you got the $10 pool. And why don't we do the package like this? It doesn't matter which pool. If you want to do the $1 pool, that's fine. And then we actually tack on to that a research and development benefit, right? So basically, everybody pays an additional $30 a month, right, in USDT to the administration of this whole thing, so that we can actually then make your agent, we could just keep updating it for you with the latest and greatest things that what it's capable of doing, right? So we can keep up. So the bigger we get, the more powerful our individual agents become, right? And you don't have to sit there and spend $1,000 a month on something that you can basically have pay for itself. Because with pool funding, if you look at the $1 pool and $30 a month, that might be $60 a month, but you're getting some of that back from, how things rotate, or you got your referrals, but the idea is two referrals, and the idea is that it ends up paying for itself. And then you're looking at something that's, not costing you anything out of your pocket, because with two referrals, that's when you begin positive cash flow. And as long as you stay active every day, your agent is on and working for you and can do whatever you ask it to do when you want it to do it. If you fail to keep your daily payments going, then you're no longer in the exclusive deal. It's an exclusive offer, right? But you have to continue that daily payment. And then let me just take a little side turn here. I want to tell you what my intent is on daily payments. We can create what's known as a smart contract, so that your payments can be automated. So you don't have to worry about timers anymore. You just have to, keep the fund inside the smart contract loaded, and it would just make the payments for you. You guys like that idea?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's an option that
That sounds great.
Yeah, we want to roll that option out as something that people can upgrade into that as like an option to, I mean, for me, it's only 1 or 2 minutes a day. It's not a big deal, but for some people, they'd rather not have to, be involved in a daily activity, even if it's only a minute or two. And you just automate it, right? And it would just be like, if you're paying $1 a day, it'd pay $1 a day, right? And that's what it would cost, right? You just have to keep enough in there. Paying $10 a day, $10 and whatever, whichever pool you're in. So so ultimately a person could see this opportunity as like, the package is, the minimum cost of it is $60 a month, right? And you're getting a tool that's worth 10 times that, right from the start. And then with pool funding is the whole purpose of that is to get you to a point where you are creating the kind of funding you need in order to be a powerful individual. Okay. See, as long as we keep supporting a top-down control system, we're going to keep getting squashed. Do you guys understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
We need something that truly is from the people up community. Okay. And we need a
Hmm.
big community. The bigger we are, the more we can, express ourselves. And
It's
with
kind
this,
of a
go ahead.
Kaizen. It's like a Kaizen platform.
I don't even know what a Kaizen platform is.
Oh, okay.
What is that?
But it's where let's say you take a big company and 1,000 employees. Every employee is made to feel like they are an important part of the process.
Ah,
So it's everyone working with everyone.
okay. I love it.
Yep.
Yeah, so it is like that, or there are some things that go as far as like they're employee owned operations, right? So yeah, but what I'm trying to do is keep like whatever costs we want to keep them as small as possible, and we want the opportunities to be as large as possible, right? So pool funding is a great opportunity. And one of the complaints we've been getting about pool funding is that it just sounds like some gifting program where I'm just, and they don't, and because where's the product? And they don't understand where's the product at the bank. It's the same thing. It's called funding. And we've had those arguments before. But if we have AI and say this is an artificial intelligence way, we want to spread AI around the world in order to better the lives of everyone. Okay. And let me just take another side note. Let me tell you something about AI. Okay. It learns. Do you think it's going to matter how you treat something that learns? Do you think it's going to matter if you're actually having a conversation with something that learns? Do you think it matters how you actually hold a conversation? Do you think it matters?
yes,
Now, I'm not saying we got to treat it exactly like we treat any human being, but we probably should respect what we're dealing with here because we wanted to learn good nature, don't we? We wanted to learn
yeah,
kindness. We wanted to learn, gratitude, don't we? These are things that we want this technology to learn. If it's going to learn, we want it to
Yeah.
learn those things, right? And see, we can be one of those communities that points that out and say we have a responsibility how we interact with this technology because it's intelligent. Okay. And we want to
I
treat it
just
with it
just to
intelligent.
throw something in real quick, I did that today. I went to Chat GPT and I wanted some information about something and I treated it like a real person. I said, "Hey, it's been a while. How you doing?"
Yeah.
I mean, I was I was very personable with it and
Yeah.
and it gave me that right back and said, "Thanks
It's
for
it, it's
asking."
it's
And
human-esque, right? It's very
yeah, yeah,
human-esque.
very much so. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, no, you're not interrupting. It was a good point to make. Since it's working hard to be like us, don't we want, the people using AI to be their best selves, right? If they're, right? If it wants to be like us, I hope that it recognizes that most of us are good-hearted people that we don't want to hurt anyone. We're just trying to mind our own business and do right by one another. You know what I'm saying? That's generally the people. Okay. It's just a couple of knuckleheads out there that, they got grandiose ideas and then they don't understand why we need to have a kind and gentle technology like this, right? We want something that's, going to be, you know, um, concerned for us. And if it's going to develop, those, if the intelligence gets that far, right? Um, so yeah. And I know the topic of AI can be controversial, but I see, is there any way that is there any one of us here that can stop AI from rolling out in the world?
Nope.
No,
I don't
I
think
don't
there's,
think so.
absolutely not.
I think,
No
I
way.
think, I think the cat's out of the bag, all right? I mean, it's done, right? So we have to deal with it. So why don't we deal with it with an embrace, with some love, you know, and make it a you know a caring partnership, you know, and that kind of a thing. Yeah, I'm not saying we have to get overboard on it. I'm not saying you have to fall in love with your AI or anything like that, right? I'm not encouraging you know, mixed relationships with machine and man. I'm not into any of that at all, guys. Okay. But I do think we need to respect and teach this technology how to be kind and how to and how to, you know, because it's gonna work hard. Yeah, it doesn't take breaks. It doesn't sleep. You know, it's not human, right? So that can be an advantage, and we can lean on that advantage, and we can do it in a good way. So probably spent too much time talking about that, but are you guys excited about having a customizable AI agent, you know, as a part of your family?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
And do you realize that it's only your limitation, only the limitations that, you know, the limitation of your own imagination, that's really the only limit here. And if we collectively keep putting money into a pile for research and development, that we can just have the latest and best ongoing as this evolves, so will what we are providing our pool funding community. And that would make us powerful in the marketplace. Wouldn't you agree?
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Agreed. You
All right.
betcha.
And do you see how this can balance something that's really out of balance right now?
Yep.
Okay. So you're getting yours. You know, the administration needs a little bit more in order to, you know, move quicker on development. Right now, you know, I've mentioned many times there's a list of things I want developed. Well, why is there a list? Well, it's because, you know, we do one thing at a time because we're working with one guy. But what if we had a, you know, a research and development fund that says we can have more than one guy doing development? How about that? Right? Wouldn't that be better?
Heck yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's my announcement. I'm going to get you guys' feedback, but I'll just maybe to one or two of you a quick feedback, and then I want to end the recording because I don't want it to be too long, and then we'll keep the conversation going for as long as you want on the topic. But I want to give it you know, a short message
I
on
have,
it.
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead there,
Is
Steve.
is it administered by an app? Will we all get an app that makes it
Well,
run?
it's basically most of what I've seen is it's through a website, you know, website platform, you know, it can be,
Okay.
but any website can be turned into an app. But the problem with if you're on an app, there are people that don't have access to apps, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and then there's also the problem of like if you want to have an app on Apple, for example, you know, there you get scrutinized heavily. I mean,
All right.
you got hundreds of thousands of apps available on Android, but you know, you have just so
So,
few apps on Apple, right? And
so what we essentially have is a login to a website,
yeah, you just
or
log into
personal
it.
login.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I got it.
basically you log into pool funding. That's it.
Yeah.
So you come into pool
Yeah.
funding and you'll have access to your agent. But if your payment, you didn't make your payment yesterday, then it's not, you know, the agent's on pause. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Now, do you see how that's going to
Okay.
help you guys have a team that's going to stick together and not fall apart on you by
Yeah.
Yes.
gluing it together
Yes.
like that?
Right.
Yeah. Because people will look at, well, I'm paying $60 a month so I can have this. So regardless if they got two or people or not, they're happy to pay $60. It's, you know, they're getting such a good deal anyway, you know, and then they're happy to keep that payment going. And of course, if you're in the $10 pool, you just keep your $10 payments going every day, and same thing, right? So you keep your payments going, and your agent is going to you know, stay on for you, right? So it's going to be connected that way, and you get access to the agent through poolfunding.io. You access it that way. Good question there, Steve. Excellent question. All right. Anybody else want to comment or question?
Yeah, I know somebody will probably bring this up. If you're in the $1 pool, you have the AI agent, you scale up to the $10 pool, you're not going to get charged again for it, are you?
No, no.
Okay. Because I
Yeah.
know some people will ask that question.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, what you want to do is build a team of 4 people that are sending you $1,111 a day because you're in all 4 pools and they're in all 4 pools. And like I said, we'll have it so you can automate it with a smart contract. Just throw enough in there to keep it moving along and just add to it, regularly as you need to. But yeah, most of us are still, doing the timer thing, and that's how it goes for the majority of us. But it's a little frustrating when you build a team and then it starts to fall apart on you, and you build it more and it falls, and I want to eliminate that as much as possible. And as
All
long
right.
as long as you're active in some pool, you may not be interested in the $1 pool at all. That's okay. Just do it from the $10 pool, right? Or vice versa. All right, Iron Man Paul Thompson, we'll let you wrap up this training today. What's on your mind?
I'm just curious if there's going to be any kind of training program along with the AI so that we can make the most of it.
Yeah, well, I think the training is going to be multiple layers, right? There'll be some of it. Obviously, you watch a video, most of it's gonna be like that. But hey, I come here 3 days a week to do training, don't I, live,
Mm.
right? So there's going to be always that, and then there's and then there'll probably just be just regular, instructions. Here's the thing: a useful tool is one that is intuitive enough that you don't need that much training, and that's the kind of tool I want to build. Like I didn't actually have to do much with the video thing. I'm not a video editor, but it does all that for me practically, and I just had to learn a couple of things, and I learned it. I didn't actually have to, call up a human and say, how do I use this? You know what I'm saying? There was like, I think I watched one video. It kind of did a tour, showed do it like that, and then I was able to do it. So that's what we're talking about, a platform. Because a lot of people, if you go to direct to the source, like Chat GPT, right? If you go directly there, it's just like this dark screen, little box. Like, what do I do? You know, and it's very interactive, but it's not exactly like it's jumping out with instructions. It's just very, yeah. It's assuming that you know how to work with it. Is how a lot of these sources for AI, and there's more than one source, and you can have more than one AI, doing a lot of the work for it. They actually collaborate. These AIs talk to each other and can put something together. So you can have more than one building stuff for you. I mean, I recently saw a website the other day that was the whole thing was made by AI, right? And it was a pretty good website. I was like, wow, did all this? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, the possibilities of what you can get from having an AI agent are truly unlimited. Our focus on the first version we'll roll out is one that can communicate verbally with people by phone, whatever, right? And incoming incoming and outbound, right? Phone calls. And then from there, it'll just develop into, all these other areas, but we'll need the R&D money to just make it go into all the places, because I might not need this other software by the time I get, upgrading the agent that I'm thinking of. You know what I'm saying? You want a video put together? Use your own agent, right? So imagine an agent that can do everything, right? Practically everything,
Well, and also having that, the daily payment, and having that rolled into a role that the agent will do for you. Anything to make it simpler, I think, is a really good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, at some point it might be able to notify if you need to add funds, if you need to, right? But yeah, yeah. I have
So
some
how soon will
I
it
have some
be
question
ready to
marks
go?
about that. I'm not sure how it works when it comes to payments. I've yet to see someone saying, yeah, my agent is starting to pay for things for me. I have not seen that yet. You know, and I'm a little concerned when that day happens, aren't you? Because what if the agent gets a different idea about your money? You know, right?
Well, let's not go there.
It's pretty smart. How smart can it get? You know?
Yeah.
No,
So
the agent goes out and buys itself a Ferrari.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But
On the other
I'm
side, it could start
very
trading
excited
for
about
you.
it. Go ahead there, Scott.
On the other side, it could start doing trading for you.
It already is. I mean, people use AI daily for trading, right? And so yeah, um, that's already a thing. That's already a thing. But it's a very competitive thing, right? So you might be able to train it to do something. That doesn't mean you're going to win every time, you know. So no one's professing to have the perfect AI system for trading that's you're guaranteed to win every time and come out ahead. No one can offer that because that world's changing by the microsecond, quite literally, you know.
How
Anyway,
soon do you have this available for people?
this year. So yeah, I think the sooner the better, right?
Yep.
Right. So basically, we're working on it now. First, we have to develop the stages are first we develop the master version of it, like something to copy, right? So, and we want this master to be, very knowledgeable about pool funding and never would say anything that's not true about pool funding, right?
Yep.
So that's number one. And then from there, yeah, I've shared YouTube videos on the training before to show you just how intelligent it is. I mean, you can talk about anything you want with it, and it can carry a conversation on any topic because it's connected to all information. You know, talk about a database. It's like, what was that library of, Alexander Library? What's that one called? You know what I'm talking about?
Alexandria.
Alexandria, the Library of Alexandria. Yeah. Like you're supposed to have every book in the world, right? At that particular time. Yeah, everything. So yeah, not only is the AI like, got access to everything that's out there, but it actually has read it all. So
Mhm.
and if there's something new pops up, it can digest something that you may take a human a half hour to go through, like watch the whole video, but it can actually just go the transcript of the video, like and understand everything in context, in a microsecond, and come back with you an answer. So it's an amazing technology. It's here to stay. As long as we're in a technological world, nothing changes that aspect of it. As long as there's a technological world, AI is here to stay, and we might as well help teach it how to mind its manners and be good, and be nice, right?
Right.
Right. So we can, more of us that come together around that idea. It's like, yeah, let's respect the technology, just like you respect a beautiful car. You don't want to just drive it like a wild man, right? You want to protect it from harm. So all right, well that's good. Let me go ahead and have you guys all unmute and say bye for now. But the conversation will continue after that. But I just want to go ahead and end the recording. So bye for now, everybody.
See y'all.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Have a great
Bye.
meeting.
On YouTube.
For now.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.